Hello guys, in today's video we're going to be doing a review on a new Rubik's Speed Cube. Let's get right into it. This is a Rubik's Cube Speed Cube created by the company Rubik's. I'd say it is a pretty good cube but has a bunch of flaws. The price is around 15 to 25 bucks, depending on where you buy it from. And what I mean by that is that, for example, if you buy it at speedcubeshop.com, it will cost around 21 bucks. But if you buy it at like your local Walmart, it will cost more than 26 bucks. But at the same time, if you buy it at like other stores, then it will cost like 15 bucks or so. The weight is 88 grams, which is very average for a regular speed cube. The length is 55 millimeters, which is also very average for a speed cube if you know anything about speed cubes. There is a bunch of pros and cons about this cube, so I'm just going to state them right away. The cube is very fast yet very tight, which is a bad combo if you know anything about speed cubes. It is very fast, which I like, because if you want to have a good Rubik's Cube, it has to be fast enough for you to turn flawlessly. But because the cube is very tight, it is a very bad combo, because despite you being able to turn fast, you will lock up a lot because you will be able to turn so flawlessly. Overall, I think that this is a really bad combo, and this is one reason why you shouldn't really get this cube. This cube has dual adjusting system, which if you don't know what that is, it is something that you can see if you take off the center cap of your Rubik's Cube, which might be a bit advanced for beginners. Now, if you see in something like a GAN cube or a tornado cube, then you will see that they have adjustments that you can do. Now, the Rubik's Speed Cube has something similar to that, except it's a bit different because there is no tool for you to actually use to do this. What I mean by that is that it doesn't come with a tool in the packaging. You have to use either your hand or a certain tool, like a pencil or something else from another speed cube. Now, another thing about this cube is that it is very dry in the box, which is something that you will notice from a lot of speed cubes. But what really makes this stand out is that in regular Rubik's brands with all those black ones, we can tell that it doesn't seem so dry, yet you still feel the dryness there. So that's why if you even have one in the first place, you might want to lube up one of your black Rubik's brands. Now, for the Rubik's Speed Cube, it actually feels a lot more dry than a regular Rubik's brand. So you would want to lube it. Now, another thing to state is that there's absolutely nothing in the packaging, which I absolutely hate. So I'm going to rant about this a little bit. There's not a single adjusting tool, not a single instructions on how to adjust it, and there's no instructions on how to solve it. In fact, the only thing that is helpful in the packaging is the QR code, which if you scan, it will take you to a website that, for all I know, could be a scam, but it most likely isn't. And you'll find out how to solve Rubik's Cube created by the creators of Rubik's. Now, personally, I hate this. You have to literally go into a QR code doing a very inconvenient way, and just so you can solve a Rubik's Cube, where you can literally go onto YouTube and watch something like JPerm's videos on how to do it. This really infuriates me, and I do not like this, but still, that doesn't change the actual cube. Now, something that really infuriates me even more is the copyright. If you don't know what I mean, this cube is actually almost a direct copy of the Swift block. And if you don't know what the Swift block is, the Swift block is another Rubik's Speed Cube that not a lot of people know, actually, because it is quite rare, yet I personally love it. Now, that doesn't mean this cube is going to be much better, because it is kind of a copy. Now, what I mean by that is that if you take apart the cube, or both cubes, I guess, then you'll find out that they both have almost the exact same interior design, which makes them pretty much copyrights. Now, the interior design is very significant because it determines on how the cube feels and how it turns. But considering the fact that these cubes have the exact same pattern and the Swift block came up before the Rubik's Speed Cube, it just infuriates me about the Rubik's Speed Cube. Now, I didn't know that Rubik's would actually do something like this, and I'm not saying that Rubik's is bad for doing it. I'm just saying I don't necessarily like that they are copying somebody's other design just because they want to get money. Now, that's probably not the case. They probably didn't even notice that they were copying somebody else's design. But still, you should at least try to figure out if there's somebody else that done this design before you publish it. There's a lot of people that notice this design and realize that it is just a copyright of the Swift block. Now, overall, this cube is actually a pretty good cube. I rate it 7.5 out of 10. But that does not mean that I enjoyed it as much as that. Overall, for the enjoyment rate, I should give it a 5 out of 10 because I turn recklessly. And with a cube like this that's very tight, it's pretty hard for me to turn, despite it being very fast. Which really infuriates me, like I said. This cube is good, but not great. If you have this cube, it's completely fine. But you shouldn't go out of your way just to get a cube like this, when you can easily get a cube like the Mario RSTR 2020 or 2021 for 2/3 of the price. Or the Super RS3M if you want to. In the end, it's not about all the bad stuff to realize. You should notice that there are a lot of good factors to this cube. Like, for example, it is one of the first ever Rubik's brands that are actually good turning, even if it is copyright. But then again, you won't already notice that this is a complete copy of the Swift block, which is not that bad. But once you take it apart, then you realize what happens. And also, when we really look at it, there's not a lot of cons compared to other Rubik's cubes. So I'd say that this cube is a pretty good cube, and if you want to buy it, go for it. It's not even that expensive. But again, you shouldn't go out of your way for it. Instead, you could get like a $10 Mario cube, or go a bit higher and get like a $28 diamond cube that's a lot better. I'll see you guys in the next video, but for now, I'll make the conclusion that this cube is a relatively good cube. See ya.